Yay! Hey, Teagan.
Hi, Teagan.
There's been a little bit of a gap between video 1 and video 2 because, I don't know, we didn't find a good time to do this.
Life.
Cause life. Hashtag cause life.
Hashtag mom life.
And I hope when you're 18 that they're still using hashtags because they're really they come into play, and I have so many moments throughout my day where I'm like, hashtag mom life. Happens. So, hi baby. You said mama for the first time 3 weeks ago, and my heart melted. We were in the park, and Daddy put you down, and I kind of separated myself from you, and I wanted you to run to me, and he was like, go to mama, and you looked at me, you said, mama, and it just melted me. So it's wonderful. It's just one of the joys of parenthood is hearing your child say mama for the first time, or if you're dad, and they've been saying it for
a year now.
or something like that.
It's okay.
It's all good, whatever. Anyway, so we wanted to talk tonight about your birth story, and we felt like we're going to divide it up into parts, and we feel like there's going to be 2 parts, but I'm feeling like there's going to be 3 parts because there's still the aftermath. Maybe even 4 if we talk about postpartum depression, because that happened. But we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what it was like to bring you into the world and to want you for so long, etc., etc. And so this is part 1, right?
Right.
Yeah.
First
okay.
of all, let me start off by saying that when I met your mother, one of the first things she said to me was, I don't want children. You need to be okay with that. You need to be okay with the fact that I don't want kids.
Second date.
Yeah. So.
Get it straight.
So, I was like, okay, well, that's fine. We'll see what happens. But I was okay with it. Got married in 2005. And then in 2000...
Oh God, I don't know. I feel like we went back and forth a ton. There were several times where I thought, okay, I'm ready. And then it would be time to actually do something, and I'd say, oh, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I couldn't come to terms with the idea of bringing a life into the world that I was responsible for. I just felt like I was just going to be a horrible mother. And I know that sounds so bad, baby, because I keep telling myself every day that I'm a wonderful mother, and I love you so much. And I think as long as you have love, you are a wonderful mother, no matter how many times you screw up. But at this point in my life, when I was in my 20s, I could not imagine even trying to be a good mother. So we had a lot of starts and stops. And then one night, it was July 4th. I remember that. I was in my 30s. And I think I was 32, maybe 31. I don't know. And I had this dream that I was holding you. And I woke up the next morning, and the dream was so vivid. I mean, I was like holding you, and your hair was dark, and it was silky, and I was in this random room, and it kind of looked like a hospital room, but I couldn't really figure out kind of what it was. But I know I was in this rocking chair, and I was holding you, and you were so beautiful, and you looked just like your father. And I woke up the next morning, and I called Brandy, who you will learn to love, who is a wonderful person, and I called Brandy, and I just said, I'm supposed to be a mother. And I'm sure she thought I was crazy, but I just knew in that moment I'm supposed to be a mom. This is my lot in life. Outside of being a great realtor and a great business owner and just this visionary, I'm supposed to be a mother. And outside of being Mario's fantastic wife, I'm supposed to be a mother. So we set out on this journey to have you. And our journey took us in a bunch of different directions, and we tried for a really long time, and nothing really happened, and there were lots of letdowns, and it became this journey of faith for us, because there were so many times during these 4 years that we didn't think it was going to happen. I specifically remember a particular day when the doctor had basically given us 2 different options, and the doctor said you can have IVF and really kind of pay close attention to the eggs that you're producing and choose the ones that can produce a baby, or you can adopt. Those are pretty much your options at this point. And Mario and I had to come to Jesus, and Mario, he really wasn't sure what he wanted to do, and I kind of had a meltdown that day because I kept remembering that dream, and I kept remembering holding you, and I just knew that you looked so much like him that I was supposed to carry you. I didn't feel like I was supposed to adopt you. I hope that makes sense, because adoption is such a beautiful thing, and it's something your Father has a huge heart for. But in this particular moment, I knew that I was supposed to carry you. And so
we set down that journey, the IVF journey, and it was a big decision, and it was something that was difficult for us to come to terms with, but we did. And I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about this later, but you know, we had to have a lot of faith, and luckily it worked out on the first try.
Yeah, we had no viable eggs outside of the eggs that they took from me that day and decided to use. And I know this may not make a lot of sense to you right now, but when you're older and you understand what IVF is, we actually ended up only with one. And that one became you. And it's hard for me to even think about the fact that we had so many options, and then all of a sudden they were reduced to just one. And if that one didn't work, that was it. We were going to adopt. That one became you. That one chance that we took was you.
I still remember getting the phone call, or your mom getting the phone call that she was pregnant. We were on our way to an appointment, and it was the best news we had ever received.
It was August of 2016,
mm-hmm.
and we were on our way to an appointment, a crazy appointment, the hoarder's house, but that's okay, whatever. And we pulled over, Daddy pulled over on the side of the road, and I had a moment, and I cried, and that was it. We were pregnant, and we just had to kind of hang on for dear life and hope that everything was knocked up to be,
yep.
Or cracked up to be.
I will say this, the first 8 months of the pregnancy were
A breeze.
A breeze.
I was fantastic. I was like hero pregnant lady. I swear, Teagan.
We went to the gym. We ate good.
Oh, I craved vegetables during my
Yes.
pregnancy.
I came home once, and your mom. We came home, and I took the girls out, the dogs, Sadie and Lucy, out to the backyard. And I came back in, and your mom was sitting at the kitchen table eating raw broccoli. That's it, raw broccoli. Not dipping it in anything, no ranch, nothing. Just, so what are you doing? She said, I wanted some broccoli.
I was hungry.
Okay.
But that was my pregnancy. I never had crazy cravings. I craved vegetables the whole time. I didn't gain a ton of weight. I was really conscious about my health and my weight gain. And I kind of like had this perfect pregnancy. No morning sickness, nothing. Exercised regularly. I mean, and hardcore too. We flew. We actually flew twice with you. Once to let all our California friends and family know that we were pregnant, and then the second time was to go out for the baby shower, and everything was great. Our baby shower was in January of 2017, and we got back home, and it was February, getting towards the end of February, and we went in for a routine doctor's appointment.
And
I'd had headaches.
Yes. Mom had a migraine in California.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a migraine before here in Alabama.
Yeah.
Before that. So 2 migraines.
A couple of migraines. Maybe 3.
And then we went to the doctor's appointment, and her blood pressure was a little bit high. And the doctor started asking some questions.
Yeah, I'm just, for anyone who's watching this is not Teagan, my blood pressure was probably in the 140s. So it wasn't extremely elevated, but it was a little bit higher, and I was actually told by the nurse, this is normal for pregnancy. So I didn't think anything about it, y'all. On the norm, my blood pressure runs, I'm usually like the 96/60 girl. I'm the girl who has the low blood pressure to where you wonder if she's still alive kind of thing. So to even hear the words 140 kind of just blew me away.
Right. So that combined with the headaches that she was having triggered a response from the doctor saying, okay, well, we're going to monitor your heart rate and your blood pressure for the next couple hours. They sent us down
to the third floor.
To the third floor. We sat in a room. Your mom got hooked up to a monitor, and every 20 minutes, her blood pressure was taken automatically.
It was 10 minutes every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes. Yeah. I don't know why that was, because I think, honestly, the noise of the machine turning on and taking your blood pressure every 10 minutes probably makes your blood pressure go up.
Well, and not only that, but this was a routine appointment. So I was thinking, we're going to go to this appointment. We're going to get to hear the baby and hear that she's doing great. And then we're going to go to work. Because everyone knows that Tammy Hallman is a workaholic. And I live for goals and et cetera, et cetera. So even during pregnancy, I kind of already had my game plan together. I'm going to go on maternity leave on this date. And I'm going to do this on this date. And I'm only going to be out for this many days. And so we went, go ahead.
So none of that happened.
That was obviously out the window.
So we went in on a Tuesday for this appointment.
February 28th was the day that we were admitted.
Yep, we went in.
They said, you're not leaving, sorry.
We went in for the appointment. They said, hey, we're going to keep you for a couple hours. That turned into overnight. Then the next day, that turned into over one more day.
Yeah.
And then so that was what, Wednesday, Thursday. Then on Thursday, they said, yeah, you're probably going to stay through the weekend. Probably go home Saturday, maybe Sunday. And then on Friday, they said, no, you're going to stay here until you deliver the baby.
Which is going to be 37 weeks. Take in mind, I was 30 weeks at this point. So someone is staring at me and telling us, you're going to be in the hospital for 7 more weeks until you deliver the baby. Now, we're hoping it's 7 more weeks. We would like to keep you full term, but it's probably going to be 37 weeks when you deliver. And they put us in this just beautiful room, and we had a view of Vulcan, and I was kind of wishing I was going to deliver around a holiday so I could see some fireworks. But the room was huge, and it was fantastic, and the nurses were so good, and the food was so good. So I was like, yeah, we'll do this. We still had not told a soul that we were in the hospital.
We wanted to keep it, we didn't want to keep it private. Well, we were private about it. We just didn't want anyone else to add to the stress of the situation.
So if you were a client and you were texting me on February 28th, I was in the hospital. If you were texting me on February 29th, March 1st, I was in the hospital. We were wheeling and dealing, basically, while I was, like, hooked up to machinery with my blood pressure being taken every 10 minutes.
I will say this. I did my best to keep your mother away from the phone.
Yes.
And I tried to handle as much as I could. There were times where I needed to talk to her, which, looking back now, I probably shouldn't have, because I'm sure that made her blood pressure go up. Anyways, back to what we were talking about.
Wait, there was one point where my blood pressure spiked, and this was later on in the process.
Sunday.
But the nurses were outside of our room, Teagan, and they were whispering, and Mario overheard them, and they were saying things like, if she would just stay off her computer, if she would just stay off the phone, she just says she has to work.
So, that brings us to Sunday night.
Oh, wait, we caught the flu, though.
Oh, well, yeah. Yes. For all
so, a few days into our hospital stay, both of us had the flu shot, and we caught the flu.
For the first time in my life.
For the first time in our lives.
We got the flu shot.
Yes, and we got the flu.
And we got the flu.
And I was pregnant, and Mario was having to be with the real world. So he was, your daddy, Teagan, would leave every day, and he would go, and he would take care of real estate for me. And he would be putting lockboxes on houses and dealing with horrible agents. This one agent could not even comprehend. Not only did he have the flu, but his wife was in the hospital, and she was so rude to him. And she shall remain nameless, but lady, I know you're out there, and karma's coming for you. Anyway, so I was in the hospital, and Daddy would go out and do all this stuff, and he would come back every day while having the flu, and I had the flu, and I felt like death. And he had a cot in the room that he was sleeping on. So imagine having the flu, sleeping on a cot in a hospital room. They came in one night, and we didn't know we had the flu. And I just kind of hit rock bottom, basically. I had the nosebleed from hell. And I had brought my own pillow from home, and my nose started bleeding, and I lunged out of bed, and All because I didn't want to get blood on my nice pillow that I brought from home with my 500 thread count pillowcase. And anyway, it was just horrible, y'all. But they came in that night and they said, maybe we should swab you for the flu. So they did, and they came in like within 5 minutes. Everybody was wearing masks. And Mario and I are just sitting there at, midnight going, what? And they said, no, you have the flu.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, got it. So we had the flu for however many days. Mario I think was on the tail end of it, kind of. I was still kind of on the beginning of it. I was having chills. I would get out of bed, Teagan, and I could not even carry myself because I was having chills so badly when I got out of bed. And I thought, honestly, there was a moment, baby, during that process where I thought I was going to not make it. And I know that sounds really sad, but I may be a little, kind of not happy, but it was hard. And having their blood pressure spike, at this point my blood pressure had spiked to 190, and I was being told by doctors and nurses that I was probably going to stroke out at any moment. My platelet count was dropping, and I really was starting to think that I'm not going to make it. And I started thinking that vision of me holding you in the hospital was maybe just a dream. And I think Daddy was probably a little scared too. I don't know.
No, I was concerned for your health. My concern was your mom. Obviously, you were on my mind as well, but your mom making it to be able to see you was something that needed to happen. So that brought us to Sunday, where her blood pressure spiked finally to 190. And it spiked around 9, 10 o'clock, and they took blood and came in and told us to, calm down.
My platelets were so low,
well,
to a point where we were actually told if they didn't increase that they were going to have to put me under if they delivered you. I would not even be coherent when they delivered you.
Yeah, and that news came at, midnight when the on-call doctor showed up.
Yeah, she showed up. Yeah, go ahead.
In her Alabama sweatshirt
Roll
and
Tide.
jeans.
Roll Tide.
So we know she was called in for this reason.
Alabama sweatshirt, blue jeans, at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah, she said, hey, looks like we're going to deliver this baby tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So go ahead and call whoever you need to call.
And it's midnight, so who are you going to call? I had nobody to call. They just cried.
I remember getting that news from the doctor, and then her leaving. And then your mom and I talked. We're like, okay, well, this is happening. We'll call your grandmother and let them know to make sure they're here in the morning.
And thank God for the fact that my mom gets up at 4 a.m. Just without an alarm. She just wakes up. So Dawn Hallman / Mimi, you are a rock star, because knowing that I can call you as a lifeline at 4 a.m. and just tell you about this made all the difference.
Right. So we tried to get some rest that night, and your mother did not get rest.
No.
But I did. I said, I told myself I needed to get some sleep, because the next day...
And I was so mad.
Yes.
I was so mad that he slept.
The next day, I knew your mom was going to be sleeping most of the day, recovering, and I was going to be responsible for you and for her. So I said, hey, I'm going to get some sleep. I'm sorry. I'm going to sleep. And she was not happy with me.
I was not happy. So I know we're kind of getting to the end of part 1 of this, because part 2 we really want to make about the delivery. But I just want to say that this was probably one of the most difficult experiences of our lives. And not once during this time did we take our minds off of you. The entire time that we were in the hospital, we were playing music and we were singing to you, and we had our phones on my belly, and my belly I had to wear this stupid belt the entire time, kind of monitoring your heartbeat, which was fine. But we were playing Whitney Houston, and we were playing all these crazy songs, and El Raton Vaquero, for any of you who know that song.
It's a good song.
It's a good song. But the entire time we were excited. The only time we lost excitement, I think there was 2 times that we lost excitement. The first was learning that we had the flu, and the second was during that moment where I just had that crazy nosebleed, and we actually thought that I may not make it, and it was just going to be you and your dad. So you were our primary focus, though, for the rest of the duration. We were so excited. No matter when you were coming, we just wanted to meet you. So, and we loved you, and we loved knowing that you were there with us through that. So, I guess, is that it for part 1?
That's it for part 1.
That's it for part 1. We'll do part 2, I guess, when we get a little more guts and can actually talk about what it was like to have an emergency C-section and have you in the NICU. And
everything else.
And all that. So we love you, Teagan. And if you're
Love
watching
you.
this and you're not Teagan, we love you too. We love you too. And I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you so much.